Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen. I am so excited to be filming videos again. I literally just turned in my 30-page capstone paper for grad school. I did my final presentation, so I am done being a student. I now work a 9-to-5 job. So I think I'm finding myself with a little bit more time these days, which is great because I want to get back into vlogging. I'm filming this on Monday, April 29th, and I'm really excited to be participating in the 2024 Asian Readathon that Cindy over at With Cindy hosts every year. So I haven't seen the movie yet, but the 2024 Asian Readathon is based on the movie Past Lives. I've heard great things, but I have not seen the film, so maybe this month I will try and watch it. I will link all of the information for the Asian Readathon down below, but as you may know, there are different challenges every year, and I just wanted to spend some time today to talk about what books I plan on reading in the month of May for these challenges and for the readathon. I'm gonna go in order of the challenges for the actual readathon. I'm gonna show the books. I have some of them here, some of them I need to download, but we'll just get on into it. Okay, truthfully, this may be a really ambitious May TBR, but I'm gonna challenge myself. So the first challenge is just to read a book written by an Asian author. Now that is the goal with the Asian Readathon, is to just read books at least that are written by Asian authors, and I think I'll accomplish that in May. The first book that I have for this challenge is Island Witch by Amanda J. Tisa. Alright, I'm just gonna read the inside cover of this. Set in 19th century Sri Lanka and inspired by local folklore, Island Witch follows the daughter of a traditional demon priest, relentlessly bullied by peers and accused of witchcraft herself, as she tries to solve the mysterious attacks that have been terrorizing her coastal village. Look at how beautiful this cover is. I usually don't go for books with like people on the cover, but this is just beautiful. I really like it. The next challenge is to read a book that feels timeless. So I decided to go with On This Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Now I haven't actually read this book, but I do know that it is written in the form of a letter from a son to a mother who can't read. And that in itself just feels timeless to me. Like letters, while they are time-stamped, I feel like that format, this type of storytelling can last a lifetime and can span across different cultures and generations. So I chose this for the second challenge. This will actually be my first Ocean Vuong book. And I'm pretty excited because I've heard just really great things about this. Okay, my dad called, so I ended up having to take the call. Okay, so the next challenge is to read an underrated book, and for that I chose a poetry book, and that is No Matter the Wreckage, Poems by Sarah Kay. I was obsessed with, I think his name's Phil, with Phil and Sarah Kay back in high school. If you know, you know. Like these were like really popular slam poets or whatever. And I really enjoyed reading her poetry back in the day. I really love her little illustrations. Sarah Kay is Japanese or Filipino, one of the two. I can't quite remember which one, but I know she is Asian. All right, so the next challenge is to read a debut book. So I had 3 down for these. One I have on Libby on hold. The other one I have not been able to get on hold because it's just so popular right now, but I'm gonna talk about them anyway. The first one is You Exist Too Much by Zaina Arafat. This is a Palestinian author, and I wanted to make sure that I included Palestinian authors in this round of the Asian Readathon. Okay, so the synopsis reads, on a hot day in Bethlehem, a 12-year-old Palestinian American girl is yelled at by a group of men outside of the Church of Nativity. She has exposed her legs in a biblical city, an act they deem forbidden, and their judgment will echo on through her adolescence. When our narrator finally admits to her mother that she is queer, her mother's response only intensifies a sense of shame. You exist too much, she tells her daughter. This is a queer Palestinian contemporary fiction. I am so excited to read this when it eventually dies down in popularity because it's so popular on Libby right now. I can't get a hold of it. The next book that I wanted to read that I have on hold on Libby is Salt Houses by Hala Alian. This is a debut novel that came out back in 2017. I think the author primarily writes poetry or other types of like short form fiction. All right, the last part of the synopsis reads, lyrical and heartbreaking, Salt Houses is a remarkable debut novel that challenges and humanizes an age-old conflict we might think and understand, one that asks us to confront the most devastating of all truths. You can't go home again. That was really enticing to me when I read this. I believe this might be like a multi-generational story, which I absolutely love. Again, I have that on hold for Libby, so if it comes through, then I will try and read it in May. If not, I did borrow Slow Noodles, a Cambodian memoir of love, loss, and family recipes. Beautiful cover. I think this is a newer book that recently just came out, but the author was born in Cambodia and spent 2 decades as a refugee until she finally returned to her homeland. If you have been around for quite a while on my channel, you may know that I took a Women in Asian and African Cultures class, and I reviewed all of the books that I read in that class, and they were all memoirs and narratives of different women, different refugees, and so I love and I appreciate those types of stories. So this one, I think I'm just gonna absolutely love. It's not too long or anything. And I think there might be actual recipes in here too. All right, the last one is read a book with a story, character, or world that represents what you want in your next life. I imagine my next life. I imagine myself owning a bookstore. But honestly, I think I might do that in my lifetime now. Truthfully, I've always wanted to like own a bookstore. So I decided to try and find a book where a main character works in a bookstore, owns a bookstore, something like that. And there are a lot of those, but I chose Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. This is translated from Japanese, so we have a really good variety of like different authors and such going on here. But the back reads, 25-year-old Takako has enjoyed a relatively easy existence until the day her boyfriend Hideaki announces he's been cheating on her. In the depths of her despair, she receives a call from her uncle Satoru, who runs a bookshop in Tokyo. Takako reluctantly accepts the tiny room above the bookshop, rent-free, in exchange for helping out at the store. All right, so these are the 5 books that I have planned out for May. I don't know if I'll get to them, but I think my priority is definitely going to be Slow Noodles, no matter the wreckage. And I really want to give Island Witch a try. I think this would be something new to me and I really do want to try this out. I do have 3 recommendations that I want to share, and I feel like I'll be sharing these every year because these are very quintessential Karen books. If you want to understand me better, I think these are the books you're gonna have to read to do that. First is Chanel Miller's Know My Name. I have reread this book maybe like once a year or once every other year. It's obviously something I really love. There's no one's writing I love more than Chanel Miller's right now. If you are not aware, Chanel Miller was the Emily Doe in the Brock Turner sexual assault case that happened back in, I can't remember what year it was, 2015, 2016. Let me just read this quote on the first page. I believe we are all multi-dimensional beings, and in court it felt harmful being flattened, characterized, mislabeled, and vilified, so I will not do the same to them. In talking about the judge and the defense and things like that. She said, I will use Brock's name, but the truth is he could be Brad or Brody or Benson, and it doesn't matter. The point is not their individual significance, but their commonality, all the people enabling a broken system. This is an attempt to transform the hurt inside my heart, inside myself, to confront a past and find a way to live with and incorporate these memories. I want to leave them behind so I can move forward. In not naming them, I finally name myself. My name is Chanel. I am a victim. I have no qualms with the word, only with the idea that it is all that I am. However, I am not Brock Turner's victim. I am not his anything. I don't belong to him. I am also half Chinese. This introduction literally blew my mind, y'all. Any other story that has gripped my brain and just satisfied everything that I want in a memoir, other than Leslie Jones' newest memoir. The way she talks about this victim experience and this label, even her Chinese American identity, like wonderful, wonderful writing. And I just want everyone in the world to read this. And I think if everyone did, we would all be like at least like 50% more kinder to each other. Next is A Woman Is No Man by Itaf Rum. This is a Palestinian multi-generational story that follows the grandma, mom, and daughter. I can't remember, I think the daughter's perspective, she's Palestinian American, lives in New York, and she lives in New York with her grandma, but the mom, that middle generation, has passed away. And so this takes place in 2008 and goes back and forth between Palestine 1990 and 2008 Brooklyn. And I don't know, there's something in me that just absolutely love matriarchal stories, or stories where you just have curious and powerful dynamic women, especially in the same family. Grandma and the daughter, or the great granddaughter, they very much contrast each other. You have the traditional Palestinian perspective, you have that newer generation Palestinian American perspective. So there's just a lot going on there. There are lots of secrets being uncovered, and this again is just one of those books that has just beautiful, beautiful writing, and it's just one of those things where I just wish everyone would read this book. It's a Palestinian story, so you get a little bit of that cultural experience in there as well. And last but not least is The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan. I'm going to recommend this to everyone. I read this originally a couple of years ago, and then I recently picked it up in the new year on audio. And Jessamine Chan did such an amazing, amazing job at tugging at the fears of parents, and I can understand that. And I'm not even a parent. The story follows Frida, who's a Chinese American professor, I believe. She is an academic, I think. One day, she leaves her daughter, her 1-year-old daughter, at home to nap while she goes to work. And that daughter is found roaming the streets. There are court battles, there are custody battles, and then Frida gets sent off to this School for Good Mothers, where she learned how to become a better mother, and all of the other mothers that she meets there are there for lots of different things. But this story touches on the surveillance of mothers, parenthood, motherhood, the way society reflects and thinks of mothers, what love means and looks like in motherhood, and just so many other things. And this is my favorite dystopian book. I think a lot of it is exaggerated, I will say, like technology wise and like the things that are actually done. I think some of it is very exaggerated, but that's what makes it amazing. Like, who the hell thinks of that? The characters do talk about the differences in being a Chinese American mother, a Black American mother, a white American mother. So there are lots of nuances, there are lots of questions, there are lots of thoughts. Oh my gosh, like the question of what companionship looks like and what it means, like, oh, I love it. So if there are any 3 books you want to read to get to know me, or any 3 books you want to read for the Asian Readathon, let it be these 3. Anyway, that is all that I have for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and please let me know in the comments down below what you are reading for the month of May, or if you're participating in the Asian Readathon. Also, I have been a little bit more active on TikTok recently. I'm kind of balancing this like tightrope of I want to be on TikTok, but I don't want to at the same time. My TikTok is a little bit more lifestyle content, so that's been fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will be around. I will do Asian Readathon vlogs, and I will do like productivity 9-to-5 lifestyle vlogs. I think I'm gonna tap into both of those niches on the YouTube, and then that's gonna be my content. I no longer have school related content that I can film, which is kind of sad. See you in the next video. Bye everyone.